right, it's March 1st, and I'm here in one of my favorite elderberry patches. As you can tell, this is in town, all kinds of litter. It's just kind of a little ditch that is up against the business here in town. But loaded with elderberry, and I already have a car full, but as you can see, this right here is a pretty good little, it's a straight stalk, doesn't have a bunch of branches already. I'm just gonna come down at the bottom here, and I'm gonna harvest this, just like this. And I'm going to show you here in a minute how we cut these into cuttings so that they can be directly planted into the ground. All right, we're back at the house. Here's half of one of the stalks, okay, that I just cut, elderberry cuttings. If you look on this stick, you'll find that there's like a line. It's almost like a bamboo line, and there's a little bud on each side. And if you go up the stick, you'll find another line, a little bud on each side, okay? This is going to be our rooting buds down here at the bottom. This is going to be the buds that are going to be the new sprouts for our cuttings. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a sharp angle cut down here at the bottom so we can shove that down into the ground. Then I'm going to come right above the double bud here. I'm going to put a flat cut, flush cut. And this is going to be our cutting that we're going to do and use for edge feathering up at the farm. So a great way. We've tried these here at the house. They took last year. I'll show you some of that footage here. They took last year, they did really well, but they've also set some pretty serious roots. And so now to transplant, it's gonna be a lot of work. And I figured this year we'll just do cuttings and do a lot of them. So I'll go back through this stick. You'll notice now this section here, that's just gonna end up being waste. I'm gonna put a sharp cut here, because that's gonna be at the bottom of our next cutting. Go up to the second stick, I already have a cut there. So there's two cuttings out of the bottom half of that stalk. Here's the easy way to do elderberry cuttings, a cheap way to establish some shrubs on your property or on your farm. Okay, we're at the top of the farm where there's a 12-acre clover project that was started and completed last fall. But part of the project was leaving about a 20-yard buffer strip, about a 50-60 foot buffer strip all the way around the field. And you can see the edge behind me if you look closely. There on this side, you have taller old fescue, which is what this whole field was at one point. I've gone through and I've sprayed it. I didn't mow it, but I've already done one spraying on it. And then here on the high side is the clover that I planted last year. So what I'm going to show you is one of the easiest ways to start an edge feathering project. Actually, one of the easiest ways is to spray it and let some of the shrub species, you just have to be able to identify those, let those start to come back in. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to use those elderberry clippings, and we're going to go through and I'm just going to start sticking them in the ground about every 15 feet or so, about every 5 steps. Okay, you might be thinking, don't you need to root those before you plant them? Well, what I have found is if you plant them, they're going to root. And so this just eliminates one step out of the equation. Last year I tested these, went through, found out, hey, yeah, they're gonna root and they're gonna do really well. Basically on these, you see these 2 sets of buds. You need those for roots on the bottom, a set of buds for the top. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shove this, I leave a sharp end on the cutting itself. I'm gonna shove that down in the ground so that a couple inches of dirt covers this bottom set of buds, and they're gonna take off. Will there be some deer pressure? Maybe, but I have about 80 shoots or so that I'm gonna be shoving in the ground here, and I think they're gonna do just fine. Okay, here's the shoot. There's the set of buds. I'm gonna find a bare spot here, get on top. I'm gonna shove it down into the ground. Oh, we're still frozen. That's wonderful. All right, I'm gonna shove it down in the ground here. There it goes. There it goes. There are beds up top. The other buds are down below the dirt. And this is gonna be an elderberry bush this year. This might put on 4 or 5 feet of growth. Point down. There you go. Got about 30 in the ground so far. see if we can make it all the way down this edge. Oh, that's gonna be a tough push. If I can do this one one-handed. That'll work. See, the buds are below the ground. Below the ground, and there are the buds above the ground. Just finished a long day of burning and ended up burning more than I anticipated. Got one project left today to finish everything up. I had some elderberry cuttings that I brought with me, and I did not want to take off and not have the project finished. This 13-acre field, putting elderberry cuttings all the way around. And so got a nice little item here. My brother-in-law, Kip Shipley from Blacktail Archery, made me this prototype. He's letting me give it a try anyways. And I'm using that to store all of my elderberry cuttings in. So this will finish up the elderberry project on the farm. This edge feathering, and man, I tell you what, it's a beautiful day. 65 degrees. It's just really one of my favorite times of the year. So I hope you guys are getting out, doing wildlife projects, enjoying God's creation. It's a beautiful time of year. You guys take care. Thanks for watching.